Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And the 2015 first-round pick, Malcolm Brown, brings him down. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The safety, Patrick Chung, is the one who makes the stop.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first two plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Play action. Now Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
This is taken at the 15. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Patriots take over. They'll run it here. This is James White. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down. Bentley. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22. Throwing on 1st down. Bentley. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still second down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. And they'll go on the ground. Great move, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves them with 14 yards still to go on third down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll run with Clement. And some room to maneuver. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is fielded at the goal line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Throwing to start the drive. Bentley, incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding, offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, Bentley. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And it's a fumble, and the Seahawks have recovered. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Following the fumble recovery. Bentley. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled.
They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out.
Detroit!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot 1st down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Bentley. Coleman has it here right side. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Bentley. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Chad Hansen, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here comes the seventh play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Bentley. He hits right, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. Now they toss out wide to Sanders. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Pats able to cash in for 6. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move him a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
Gostkowski now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Doug Baldwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And he had time there. I mean, you give any quarterback that length of time, he'll make you pay.
It just puts way too much stress on guys trying to cover downfield because, as you said, you don't have much time in the pocket. He can scan the field, find the open person. That's exactly what happened there. And what was the end result again?
Touchdown. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. This will be taken in at the 1. He finds some open field here. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. As his guys are in for 6. And the Pats able to cash in for 6. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And, Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back to Foxborough after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
To throw is Wilson, finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. On second down, Wilson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Wilson now, operating from the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Dumps that off to Penny, his running back. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw again is Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Now Wilson on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. So we've reached halftime here at an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw on second down. Bentley. And that's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go. If if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Give him 7 on the play, and it's a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying under double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with 3rd down coming up. They'll run again with Clement. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart. In this case, not so genius. I do admire that he went for it.
And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Wilson on second down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Bentley. On the crossing route, complete. It's Hansen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A give running left. It's Sanders. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall.
Back now in Foxborough. All even as we get ready to start the 4th.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90! Hot!
To throw on 2nd down. Bentley. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Corey Coleman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots have moved out in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And they will take a 7-point lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Left side, caught by Matthews. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there, leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Baldwin. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Now Rashad Penny, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it with Penny, and he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on down.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Right back to him on first down. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They'll run it. This is Michel. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. From the gun, Bentley. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be...
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting the lead. So you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play. But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing on first down. Bentley. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Gone!
Looking to throw. Bentley. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
New England on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Operating from the gun. Bentley. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
It's Clement. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. There with a tackle, Dietrich Wise Jr.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because with their...
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So the Patriots coming out now. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A huge play there in overtime. 68 yards. So often in overtime, Charles, games are won or lost on one big play. That might have been that big play right there.
And the ability to execute it despite the stakes, because let's face it, we've been there before. We've seen guys maybe hyperventilate a little bit when it's their opportunity. Not in this situation. They executed it calmly, and they really got it done.
And now they're set up in prime. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just want to throw quarters with you on and go, how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where it got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Patriots, they're into the win column for the 3rd time this year as they get the victory here. And they will hit the road.